Hey everybody, welcome back to Lotus Fire Studio, playing video games so you don't have to. My name is Mike James. I'm that guy who does the other videos sometimes. Coffee, I'm drinking it. It's good. So today, we are gonna try something a little different. This is a game called Katawa Shoujo. Shoujo. This is a visual novel that a friend of mine actually recommended to me many years ago that I never really got around to playing. Supposedly it's a dating sim for like I think like handicapped girls or something like that. I don't know. Let's just go straight into it. Why even bother presenting this as if I know what's gonna happen? Because I don't. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Ooh, naked. Can I just... There we go. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands, cuphead, and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling. I almost said falling, like an idiot. From the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. How deep. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. Oh, that sound effect. Wow, that was clear as day and not compressed at all. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Ah! Someone is approaching me from behind. Maybe it's the devil. Hi, Hisao? Okay, alright, let's get this out of the way. I'm terrible at pronouncing any name that isn't John, so I apologize. I'm gonna try my best. You came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. It's the good Lord Satan. Thank you, Satan, for gracing me with your presence on this fine snowy day. Iwanako? Oh, fuck. I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I completely fucked up her name. I knew this would happen. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and I fucked up her name. Pathetic. Oh, is this her right? Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. I was paralyzed. Uh-oh. My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. But I won't let it. I stabbed myself in the heart multiple times. Take that, heart. So, here we are, out in the cold. Oh, my heart. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Thump-a-thump-thump. My throat is tight. But not as tight as my sweet butt. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. But I've never tried forcing a word out of my butt. They always come out like farts. You see... Uh-oh. I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. Oh my God. What is this, Sadie Hawkins dance? I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they're being stretched beyond the breaking point. Hasao? I reach up to try to... Wait, that was her, not me. Well, I should read the names before I just start... Whatever, we'll get better at it, don't worry. I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hasao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. The beating of my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. Oh, sounds like I had a heart attack. That's nice. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, and Wanako running towards me, all these fade to black. Like the Metallica song. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Wanako screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of the branches above. And Wanako just would not shut up. Oh no, I'm in the hospital? I don't want to be in the hospital. Oh, it's got its own little opening? It'd be cool if they made it like a James Bond opening, just like...
I'm gonna wake up, yes and no, I'm gonna kiss some part of, I'm gonna keep this secret, I'm gonna close my body now.
You guys, what's your favorite Bond movie? Mine's Casino Royale. There's a bunch of good ones too. See, it's funny because like I grew up, you know, I was born in 1992, so I grew up with Pierce Brosnan being like the Bond I knew for so long, and I loved GoldenEye because it was a good movie and it was a good game. But every other Pierce Brosnan Bond movie was just so irredeemably bad. And then Daniel Craig came out with, you know, the Casino Royale movie, and I was like, it's my jam. I love that shit. It's good. So yeah, I'm not big on visual novels. I haven't really played many of them, and you know this game's been out for a very, very long time, and I'm just now playing it for the first time. So that should give you an idea of my experience with these. So I figured it might be fun to try. Everybody seemed to like Night in the Woods, which is kind of a story-based game where I can do character voices and stuff like that. So if you guys like this, we can continue with it. But the episode's not done yet. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Wow. Big time skip. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. It sucks. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. It also makes you talk like William Shatner. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. I'm a little emo boy now. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. They're in the hospital now with me. We're all sharing the same room. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Oh, well, you guys... What is this, America? You don't have universal health care? Of course, there isn't a cure. There is only death. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh, okay. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. And afterwards, they stopped visiting because they just don't like me, I guess. And Wanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. Hey, remember that one time I asked you out and then you, like, had a heart attack and stuff? Yeah, I'm dating Kevin now, by the way. We didn't touch a subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's pretty dope. It's not really a place I'd like to live in. Oh, really? Weird. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. Mostly because we didn't want to draw the actual doctors and nurses, so we just kept them faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He said fucking never, bruh. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it, and then the stroke happened, and holy shit, everything just went south from there. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. A bunch of garbage TV. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. Maybe I needed a visual novel to play. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, yes, that's right, I eat books, it's how I gain my power, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. Everything is naked to you. Is that the only way you describe stuff? But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. God, all you do is think. Get on with your life, buddy. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the times that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I'd set up for myself. The pages of the book started to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness of my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry, but that happened only rarely and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very, just, marginally excited. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. Oh. My parents are here. My parents are queer. Deal with it. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then, he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment, kisses me gently on the lips. Hello, Isao. How are you today? I don't answer, but I smile a little back at him, and I poop a little bit because I can't control it. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. You turned my dad to wood, doctor! So many. I take it from his hand and take a look of myself. I feel numb. I become so numb. How am I supposed to react to this? I don't know. With a face? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Ataxia. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications. What? Oh. And dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Oh, well, apparently he didn't say anything at all. What? What am I reacting to? Please calm down, Asap. Listen to what the doctor... Oh, wait, this is the dad. Please calm down, Asap. Listen to what the doctor has to say. God, I can't keep any of these voices straight. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. It always is. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. Dad, I'm not a superhero. How can I have supervision? I just spilled coffee on myself like a big fucking dumb animal. I'm sorry. At least not until we're sure your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to you. Fuck. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It is a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. And think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. What's wrong with disabled kids? Hisao, you being a jerk for no reason? If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff. And you wouldn't make a hospital be nearly be nearby a selling point. Guys, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you, because, you see, we've never been to school ourselves. I can't even read. That's why I was so confused when the doctor handed me that note. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It's good. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. I'm very drunk. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help, one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. It disables you from your ability. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? Normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. Haha. I have always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. It's like your favorite word. That and naked. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, the doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. Clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'm trying to see what my new life will look like. See, that's the spirit. Anyway, coffee's cold now. That opening took too long. Act 1 life expectancy. I'm probably gonna die, aren't I? Yeah, bummer. Well, that's just a straight up picture of a gate that someone put through a filter in Photoshop. Okay. This will probably be a good stopping point for this episode. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm just trying something new here. I don't know if this will stick. I don't know if you guys want me to keep going through it, or if you want me to do something else. We'll see. But yeah. Next time on Lotus Fire Studio, more of this, or maybe something else. Who fucking knows?